All right, I realized I missed some stuff on video, so pretty much I pulled the motor out knowing I was gonna have to do the clutch, and then started recording after the motor was out and I was reinstalling the clutch and all that. So we're gonna start with that pretty much when I was getting the clutch kit prepared to be installed. So here we go. All right, so Jordan's got the clutch all cleaned there. That's stickers for horsepower. There's the disc alignment tool, pilot that I'm probably gonna press in my flywheel, but this is what he needs right now. So nice fresh throwout bearing. I'll get him to grease the inside of it, and it's already pre-greased or pre-lubed on the inside, like the very inside where the balls are. So I'll show you. So Jordan, it goes on this way, with this end facing towards where the engine would be, and I think you just have to lube up inside here. Just to where it's going to be sliding over the input shaft. Oh, I thought that bitch was off. And then, yeah, so it just has to go onto the input shaft when you're going to put the clutch fork in. And then you can slide this little pin through it after it's all greased up. It's going to be good. So then you... So I'd feed that up there through there first. Can I get it in place? Yeah. And hold that. Just feed it up through that hole. And then, yeah, you should be able to push it up a little bit out of the way. And
might want to actually grease the other guy as well.
Well, once that'll kind of hold it too. Once you're sitting on there,
that's true.
And then you can have all the time in the world to grease that pin. And it's weird because it actually comes through on the outside of the trans to the inside. Nice.
Beautiful.
Looks good, nice and snug.
Yep.
We're gonna get flagged for that one, man.
Yeah, it's not safe for work.
All right. So he's got her all greased up. Now he's sending the pin through the side of the transmission. It's gonna line up clutch fork, and it will go into the pin on the other side of the molding. It's got a horizontal pin through it to lock it in place and it doesn't rotate. That's why you want to make sure it's greased well. And I believe that the pin should be pushed right flush.
We've got a little bit past.
Looking nice and...
Slide.
Yeah, and then if you want to fiddle the fork, then you can just see how it's going to fit there. Yeah. So that's pretty much how your WRX or STI throwout bearing goes in. It slides on that beefy pin, so it's got no room for play. We're on the Impreza NA motors. It's the opposite style clutch, and it's a push instead of a pull. But this is a pull style. So most turbo Subarus have these anyways. All right, I just reinstalled this little stud there that was giving me trouble for, honestly, since I've had the car. And I was just lazy to deal with it, so I did that. I'm gonna clean off the rest of this clutch dust that's in here. The rear main looks good. Usually if you have your clutch off, you'd wanna replace the rear main if it's gonna give you issues, but luckily mine's been good to me. So I'll clean that up, then I'll Loctite my flywheel bolts. And actually, Company 23 makes a nice little lock that you can bolt into right here. But I don't have one, so I just use a little chisel and I lock the teeth into somewhere where it gets tight. And then you can torque it. And I don't remember off the top of my head what the torque is for these bolts, but I'll figure it out and I'll put it on the screen. Okay, so another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my old pilot out of my flywheel. I have a new one that comes with my clutch kit. You don't want to be pushing on the inner race because you'll screw up the ball bearings in there. So I'm going to try and get a socket that's the right size to the outer race. Then I can just hammer it out. And then the new one, if you have a press, probably press it in, but I'm going to try my luck with just hammering it in. We'll see. We'll see. Would have been nice if it was colder out today. I could have left it outside, but you know how it goes. So I put my bearing in the freezer. I'm going to pour this up to heat it up. Burn some paper that's under it, you know. I'll get the whole piece kind of heated up in there. And then it should drop in easy. I love it. So obviously I couldn't film it because I was using both hands, but that went smooth as could be. And I just took it nice and slow. You can see that my, was a 22 mil, or no, 7/8 socket fits right on the outer race of that. And you can see it's nice and even around there. No kind of lump when I'm going across. So it should be sitting pretty centered there. Pretty confident with it anyways, and that bearing will be cooling down and sort of matching the temperature of the rest of it. Now I just got to finish cleaning all this oil off because I didn't want the rust after resurfacing. And it'll go in, and then I'll be able to Loctite the flywheel bolts, torque them up, and assemble the rest of the clutch. I'm hoping so.
Will you take the bag and the brake cleaner? No, I got the one. Yeah, just stick that stuff.
I got it.
I had the brake cleaner in my pocket, but it fell out when I caught it.
Good catch, man.
Okay, your bolts are all just in the corner here.
Thank you. I just set up my phone so I can throw one bolt in this. Let it Loctite, and then I will put the rest of them in with Loctite, and I'll take that one out and change it out. It's kind of an awkward fucking position, if I'm being honest. But
If you need me to help you with something.
you just can't get your fingers in anywhere else. But oh, that wasn't that awkward at all. That's it sitting on there, and then I can. Please. All right. So 55 point something. All right. Now, the fun part. Get this thing locked. There we go. I guess not. I just have it like kind of jammed in there like that. Ooh. That's alright. This one's a little wider. This is the one I just, nope, no, this. That's the one I just torqued. There we go. Yeah, I mean, again, another reason to have the proper tool doing this. I really gotta order a bunch of those Company 23 tools though. Like you're saying, we'll just put a mass order.
I'm telling you, I'll buy some.
We'll get everything. I mean, unless they want to send me some. All right, that's probably good.
Yeah.
They were all torqued up. Nothing moved. That looks pretty good. So now, clean off all the oil. Clean off all the oil off my pressure plate as well. Get the clutch alignment tool, which actually is a little nub. Goes right in the center of your pilot bearing. Oh, excuse me. Center of your pilot bearing. Oh, there we go. It's got it right here. So it just goes in there. I'll grease it up. And basically, when you're putting everything together, when my pressure plate is torqued down, it's going to be holding the clutch right in the center. So you want it to be right in the center of your engagement here, so that when you drop the motor in, the input shaft off of the transmission will be able to go right through the splines on the clutch, and then actually the end of the input shaft will sit right in your pilot. So we should be good to go after this one.
The sound of the final, like this torque,
Yeah,
like the circle, that was so satisfying. Yeah, you rotating it also to get it onto the nut.
Oh, like the
bolt head rather. Yeah, and then just hitting the click on the torque stack. Just in that sequence around sounded so good.
Well, that's good. I love seeing the videos where they're doing head studs.
Yes.
And then
even
even more satisfying though, the electronic ones where it's
yeah. I
Love
agree
it.
with you.
love it. All right.
That would be a dream setup.
That's when you're not in the back of a dusty shop with a bunch of snowmobiles. That's when I build my own garage and try to keep it minty clean.
Yeah.
Even though it'll probably look like this most of the time.
Like,
With my car anyways. Minus the dirt.
I mean, if I'm in there with you now,
No.
yeah.
You're gonna have to send me a
I'll-
cleaning bill
I'll
for
hold
the
you
month.
to a standard.
Alright, so fun. Brake cleaner comes out. And lots of cleaning because I don't want any hot spots. But I'm fairly sure it's like this. And then, or would it be like this, you know? What would make more sense, or would that collide? Oh yeah, that would collide. So it has to go this way. Process of elimination. Alright, so I'm gonna take this. And the clutch is already clean, actually. Like, you don't want to have any particulate and shit on there. You want it to be nice and clean, so I'm not going to give it, like, I'm not going to wipe it with that microfiber or anything because it'll just leave those little fibers on it. But it's not oily, so it should be no problem. I'm going to grease the center, though. Oh, I just give it a spray, you think? I guess it'll evaporate, too, right? Now, the arms, grease up my arms a little bit. So, grease out, so that's greased up, ready to go in. Now, my pressure plate is also going to be cleaned off because it probably has just a slight oil coating on it. Just like that. Pressure plate, spray off with some brake parts cleaner and wipe her down. So now this is gonna be the fun part because I gotta find where the studs go. So there's 1 and 2. Look like they're about that far away from each other. Okay, so that's gonna go on there like that. Gotta get you to pass my clutch disc there, Jordo. So yeah, it's just from the bottom and it'll slide off the end of there. There we go. Should take it this way. I got it that way. Drop it through, nice and centered. And then I can grab it from the other side. And like I said, align it right into the pilot hole. You want it to be sitting nice and centered. Now with the pressure plate, I need it to sit on these studs so that I can align it and put the bolts in. So there's 1 stud aligned. Let's see if it's gonna wanna go. Professional job. It's not like it's a piece. So here, I'm just gonna show the camera. So you can see on here, your hook comes over the edge. I just checked on my ACT pressure plate. All three of these hooks come over the edge. But for some reason here, no hook coming over the edge. It's on the inside, going between the part that clamps onto your flywheel. This one too. And the third one, you know, it's fine, of course. But this one, so two of them are out of place. And I can't clamp it together because of that. And that's a little upsetting, if I'm being honest. Well, it's real upsetting. Yeah, oh yeah, it's totally cocked off on the one side. So this is the whole reason why I couldn't just put it up nice and easy. There's actually a gap on the inside too. You can see one side sticking out way further than the others. So I don't know. I'm going to see if I can just snap these into place. And if that works, then great. If it doesn't, then piss off. All right, so I tried to put this in the car. This is just fresh out of the box, and you can see that one of these retainer clips is sitting where it's supposed to be on top of this plate, and then two more of them are sitting on the opposite side, and they're actually holding the one side of the pressure plate out. So that's not going to work going in the car. This one as well. So 2 out of 3 are sitting on top of this pressure plate. So basically you can't sink it tight onto your flywheel. Yeah, this is just how it came out of the box. This is a brand new part, obviously. The Exit Stage 2 pressure plate.
Over. So you.
We got the clips figured out, but real sketchy. I gotta do some more bending here. We'll see how that goes. Anyways.
I got that fucking $2,000 207.
Yeah, spare. So, sketchy, but we bent them out and bent them back, and now everything's sitting nice and flat. And I got a funny feeling this is going to install like a dream. What the fuck did I do with my clutch wheel? I think I put it on the other side of the lift.
Nope.
Did you set it down there?
Bring that here for some reason.
I probably did, honestly.
That in.
Yeah.
And then I'll pass you this.
Thank you. All right. Now, I'm fairly sure that because it's round, these pins can go in as long as they're aligned. They can just go anywhere.
I'm going to just give you the reach around.
Oh, please. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
It's like it fucking goes on like it was made to.
Really?
Amazing. Here, I'll steal a bolt. So that's how you usually goes in. Line up the battery between. You got your push out grease and push this on right in the center. As much as you can. So yeah, that was a good. I think I just using rolling in on there, so probably not working the bolt. Now when you do the 11.8 for pound 4 and cross battery. And everyone, you get this on here. Usually it's a razor. Or you get this on socket for using one. We'll see. Yeah, so you got a little bit in there. Actually, I'm getting close here, so you can see now how these clips, again, now that it's compressed. So actually, since it's compressed, I can take this out. I'll leave it in there just for now, just in case. But it's basically centering my clutch in there. It's looking nice and centered. But these clips are actually raised off of the silver part, so they had to be above this to allow everything to compress. So it was good that we actually caught that beforehand and fixed it. Bent them back out just so everything would fit, but pretty big fuck up from Exity, if I'm being honest. Luckily, I don't think it could work anyways, like it wouldn't go together, as you just saw. So, I mean, annoying to have to fix brand new parts, but you know how it is. We got it sorted, no one got hurt, so it's not that bad. I might even be putting out like 11 point something foot-pounds of torque, but I'm gonna check it anyways. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Beep. Beep. That's probably good. I just gotta go up with the motor now. As far as everything in the car, it should still be pulled back to be ready to receive this. So I'm just gonna do a quick double check here before we fucking launch this. Pressure plate's in, clutch is in, everything's been torqued. Flywheel's torqued. That's everything that's back here pretty much, right? I torqued all the fucking, all the lines on the turbo. So that should be good as well. So now, fun, I'm just gonna back up the top and do it.
We're also gonna want to come back.
Yeah. So now that we got the headers past the exhaust, I'm gonna bring it back out, and it's got more room for the basically to swing back and forth. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these bottom studs lined up in the respective holes in the bell housing, and as that goes, you'll have your input shaft from your transmission go into the center of your clutch disc and into your pilot bearing, and that'll basically center everything on your rotating assembly right there. And then obviously you get your nuts on the end of these, more bell housing bolts, and there'll be 2 of them that hold in your starter. But for now, this is the kind of the weasel around part. And normally you'd have to jack up the transmission, but my engine mounts have little holes that the studs came out of. So I'm actually just gonna move it in right straight and then try to line up the holes, and I'll reinstall the studs after with some Loctite so that they don't come out again. But this way should be easier. Should be. Knock on wood. Cool. Oh, geez, your head hit that. Oh, it screwed up my mesh. But it saved you. All right.
Almost died.
Nah, dude, you're fucking...
That would have hurt so much.
Safety stick first. You know, everyone buy a safety stick. It'll save your life or your friend's life. Yeah.
You have your old prop?
Somewhere.
No.
Like,
No, man.
hold on. No one died.
Fortunately. Or yeah, put it on that side, I
And then
guess,
lean
since
it.
I'm over here.
Can't lean her up. There. No, it's fucking. She wedged, you can let her go. There. Should have done that in first.
That would have fucking hurt so much.
Oh. OSHA wants to know your location. Oh, fuck. Alright. Back to it. Like nothing even happened. Tuck in some wires and stuff. You ready to go down a little more?
I almost want to...
the studs are actually out of my engine mounts, which I thought was gonna be smart, but wasn't. And now I've got it dropped into place and it's looking good. All my, like everything's aligned, all my mounts are in. I just gotta go under now, tighten up the bolts for them, and then I'll be able to unhook my straps and take the engine crane out. It'll all be bolted up basically. And what I'll do then is I'll take my pitch stop mount and I will tighten that up. I'm gonna grease them a bit just to make sure that they're not gonna like tear when they go in. And they're probably pretty dry. I don't think I greased them enough the first time I put it on. So yeah, and get those tightened up, and then this bad boy can come out of here. I mean, it already cleaned a little bit of skin off of me, so. Ow, cunt! Oh, I just ripped a bunch of skin off the crane. The legs just have pins. Pull the pins out and they fold up, and then I bungee it all together. And makes a nice little roll around unit. If I don't catch myself in the bag. So on mine, like I said, gotta mess around with this. It's flipped, so you have to mount everything on the bottom side of it and then run it out. Still needs a rad, which pretty. The pitch stop mount will go into here, so that will go down there. I'm gonna grease these both. My turbo inlet pipe is actually starting to shred off and is not looking so hot, so I'm gonna get some new silicone hosing going for that. Probably get a new inlet pipe. I want to get new rad hoses. I want to get rid of all the red in here actually, and probably if I can just sandblast my other intake manifold, or I'll find a JDM one that's the silver. And I'd love to get the long runner one that goes all the way down and doesn't have the TGVs, but again, hard to track down. We'll see. That's all made it up. I actually still got to finish sinking in all the bolts for the bell housing now that it's all bolted up. Here as well, I don't know if you can see it actually there. That would usually have two hoses that run into the firewall for your heater core. Mine's just looped. Again, fuel hoses, but there's lots of little things to button up now, but the big part, annoying part of putting it in here is it's all done. The rest is bolting up, tightening up, and then I didn't drain the oil, so the oil's still in it because it was fairly fresh. And put my rad in, fill it with coolant, and then you actually burp the rad from the highest point, which would be the overflow tank that's on top of the engine. Yeah, there is a lot of little stuff, but the big annoying part, like I said, is done.